Welcome! This Accelo University video will cover the topic of the Task Dashboard's introduction. My name is Thomas Strauss, and I will introduce you to the 3 task-centric dashboards available for your use, and these will help to optimize, organize, and streamline your Civic platform experience. In this video, I will introduce you to the Task Dashboard, which is your home page by default the first time you log into the Civic platform. In addition, I will also present the other task dashboards, the Task Management space and the My Task space. Let's get started. The first dashboard that we'll take a look at is the Task Dashboard. Let's look at some of the details. There's a screenshot on the right that gives you an example of what that looks like. It's the default home page you see when you first log into the Civic platform. This can be changed, and that can be done in the Launchpad under My Pages, but initially this is the default. It displays a consolidated list of tasks that are assigned either to a user or to a department. Now, the Civic platform has a system-wide default filter that shows on the task dashboard only tasks that are assigned specifically to the user that's logged in. Now, after you've accessed the task dashboard, you are able to change your default filter to either other users, all users, your department, or any other various ways that you might set up your filter. There are 5 types of tasks that are displayed, and that is of course dependent on what functionality your agency is utilizing. So you could see up to 5 types of tasks: workflow, inspections, document review, meetings, and activities. These are displayed with either a card view or the list view. The example shown on the right side of the screen shows the card view. In a little bit, you'll see some examples within the Civic platform of the different options for the task dashboard. Let's take a look at some of the task management details and particulars. Tasks that are shown on this page are grouped together regardless of their type, unless you create filters and then use those to organize them. These tasks can be auto-sorted by any of the available criteria, such as by due date, etc. Filters are used on this page to organize the task, but this is also where you can create a filter, and these could be set as your default not only for the task management space, but it would also become the default for your task dashboard page. Now, even though the format is a little different than what you would see on either the Task Dashboard or the My Task space, the same actions are available with your task as you have with the other dashboards. As far as the My Task space goes, some of the particulars here, it displays up to 5 tabs for the 5 types of task. And the order of these tabs can be customized to your preference. Now, if your agency is not using, say, document review, meetings, or activities, then those tabs do not have to be displayed. But you could see up to 5 tabs depending on what your agency uses. The format of this page gives you a little bit broader visibility into some of the details for each of the tasks. Things like who the task is assigned to, whether it's at the department level or at the user level. And this is important because depending on the way your agency plans to work with tasks, this may be an advantage that you want to take advantage of and may determine whether you use the My Task as opposed to the task management space or the task dashboard. The same task actions are available as with both the task dashboard and the task management space. Next, we're going to jump into the Civic platform, and I will demonstrate how to navigate to the location of each of these dashboards. The very first time that you log into the Civic platform, you would see a task dashboard such as the one I'm showing. I've changed my task dashboard so that it no longer is my default homepage, and record is now my homepage. But normally, the first time you log in, you would see the task dashboard. And as mentioned previously in the video, the Civic platform utilizes a system-wide filter that only displays the tasks that have been assigned specifically to the individual. I do have a number of filters here on this task dashboard that would allow me to organize and see tasks to my department or to possibly other users or across all users. But as it stands by default, I see just the task assigned to me. Now, if there are no tasks assigned to you, then you very well might not see any task showing here. I'm showing the card view, and over on the right there's a toggle that allows me to switch over to the list view. There will be more details on the card view, the list view, in the video that focuses specifically on how to use the task dashboard. So this has a tile that's found at the very top of the main menu on the left side. And you can see that if you click on the tile, it will give you a slide out where you could switch over to the map dashboard. Currently I have it set to the task dashboard. So anytime you want to get to the task dashboard, even if it's no longer your home page, you just click on that tile and this will open up. As mentioned, the record space is my home page, and this is what I typically would see when I log in. Now, if I want to get to my task dashboard, I use the tile at the top of the main menu, click on it, and it refreshes and opens up my task dashboard. I can then utilize one of my filters as necessary to get to the types of tasks that I need to work with. So that's the task dashboard. And that one's pretty common because it's kind of right in your face when you log in the first time. But in the Launchpad, if you wanted to use either of the other dashboards, if you were to go to all pages, you could see here down towards the bottom there's a section that says task and activities. One of them is my task, the other is task management and activities. So if you were to click on either my task or task management, that would open up these other dashboards. Now I have these already pinned on my main menu. If you notice on the left side, I have a tile for my task and one for task management. Now, if you did not see task management showing in your all pages, there is another way you could navigate to task management, and that is right from the task dashboard, which I'm currently showing. If you notice, there's a little icon just to the right of the filter, and if I click on that, it opens up to my task management page. Now, sometimes it may open up to your filters, which would look something like this, and if that's what you see, then you would just click cancel and it would take you into your task management page. So as mentioned, I have this already pinned, and this is how tasks are listed in the task management area. They're grouped together. I've got an inspection, I've got a workflow task, and you can see the task type column shows each of these, and these are simply being sorted based on whatever the default sorting has been set to. Which I believe in this case is due date and time. So the only other way to really organize these would be to create filters, and you can see I have just one here, my workflow task. So now it isolates just my workflow task. So I have not set that as my default. If I did, then that's what I would be seeing when I land on the task management page. Now, this task management area is also where, if you were to go to menu, you could open up to saved searches and you could create a filter, or you could access the filters that are listed there and set one as your default. So if I click on that, I have one that says my workflow task. If I were to click on my workflow task, It shows me the criteria used for that filter, and at the top there's a button that says primary. That's how I would set this as my default. Now, if you were to do that, and I'll cancel this for now, if you were to do that, it would not only set my workflow task as your default here, but it would also set your default, if I go back up to the tile at the top of my main menu, it would set the default filter here on your task dashboard. So when you use this little icon here to the right of your filter pages on your task dashboard, that's going to take you to the task management page, which under menu, saved searches, that's where you can set your default, not only for this page, but also for the task dashboard. So a little different layout. You can see there's some actions over here that allow you, depending on the type of task, to perform different actions, which we'll cover that in the videos on each of these respective dashboard pages. So the next one that I want to point out is that if you go to your Launchpad and you go to either all pages or possibly you have it in your pages, but there is a My Task page as well. Again, I have that pinned already, so I'll just click on that tile. This is what the My Task dashboard looks like. This one has all of the tasks grouped according to various tabs. And depending on what types of tasks your agency is working with, you may see just workflow and inspections, maybe you see document review, meetings, activities. These can be turned off by your system admin if you're not using those. But you could see up to 5 tabs here. Depending on which one you click on, it would group your task according to either your default filter if you'd set one, or allow you to navigate to saved searches and change to an appropriate filter. Now going back to the tabs, one of the features of this page, if you were using all of these different types of tasks, but you wanted to set, say, inspections as your default tab, you could go to Menu and you could go to Display Order and change the order as you wish to see them. So if I wanted inspections to be first, I could change this 2 to a 1 and this 1 to a 2. Save that, and now inspections are my default tab on my task. Now, another benefit of this particular view of your task is that it allows you to see more information about the task. So, for example, in the Assigned to Staff column towards the right, I can see any of the tasks that are assigned specifically to an individual, or whether an individual has claimed that task. And you can see up at the top in the toolbar, there's the ability to claim a task or release a task. And that just simply puts a user's name on it so that others know that that user is working that particular task. So depending on whether you're using this functionality, this view of task may be helpful and may be a determining factor in whether you use this page or not. So I can see more information with this view of my task. I have the same filters available, and filters could be set as a default here as well for each of these different types of task. Alright, so the purpose here was really to introduce you to the 3 types of task dashboard and to give you some details about each, and then to show you how to navigate to those various pages depending on which one you want to use. So that's really up to you depending on how you like to work, whether you want to use the task dashboard, whether you want to use the task management page, or possibly the My Task page. At this time, you should have an introductory knowledge of each of the dashboards that were reviewed: the task dashboard, the task management space, and the My Task space. Be sure to view each of the videos created specifically for each dashboard, where you will learn how to work with card view or list view, how to understand task information, how to open, assign, or complete a task, and how to use filters for working with optimal efficiency in the Civic platform. Thanks for watching.